Hey PJs, welcome back to another video. Today I'm reviewing a subscriber slime shop. This is Deuce Deuce Slimes and they sent me 4 slimes, so this review is a little bit longer. Just something I want to mention, everything was packaged pretty okay, none of the containers cracked, but some of the female slices were packaged in like tiny little containers, and even though they were taped, they did bust open, and as you can see at the bottom of the box, female slices went everywhere. Just as like a tiny cosmetic detail, I would definitely recommend putting them in a bag instead. That just keeps them a lot more secure, and that hopefully won't happen. They sent me a ton of extras, so thank you so much. The extras included a bunch of different kinds of candy, a thank you note, borax which is labeled, a sticker, and a keychain. And they also sent a letter, which makes like the whole package feel so much more personal. I really liked this, but I didn't have a business card. Some smaller shops don't do business cards. I would definitely make it at least an option, maybe like in the notes you could ask for a business card. That way they can kind of contact you better, and it just makes your business look more formal. Starting off the review, this is Saturday Morning. It is a semi-thick and glossy scented fruity pebble slime that comes with sprinkles and a Fruit Loop charm. So firstly, I want to say that I love the concept of this one. So many people do cereal milk slimes or cereal slimes or whatever, and while it is an overused concept, I really enjoy it, but it's nice to see it in a different light. So this one, obviously, since it's called Saturday Morning, it's based on like what people do when they wake up on Saturday morning. I know, at least for me, when I was a kid and sometimes now, cereal just hits so different when it's Saturday morning. So I believe this has that's the vibes they're going for with this one, and I think that's just so accurate. It really brings me back to my childhood, and while that makes me sad, it makes me feel young again, which is super fun. They only sent me a 2 ounce of this slime, but honestly, I wish I could have gotten a bigger size. I love this texture so much. Even though it is a semi-thick and glossy, it's at least a little different than most semi-thick and glossies I've felt. I don't know what it is, but it's definitely a little different. You might notice it was kind of sticking to me. It was a little tacky, but after proper activation, which I didn't do until close to the end because I was scared of overactivating it, and then I wouldn't be able to play with it very well. After I activated it correctly, the tackiness went away completely and it became the perfect texture. Although cereal usually doesn't have sprinkles in it, at least not a lot of different cereals, I don't know. I thought the sprinkles actually gave this a really cute touch. Again, it's something different from like clay chunks or something to represent cereal, and I just think it looks so pretty, and I'm just honestly a fan of white slimes with colorful add-ins because it just looks so pretty. And I love this slime, especially when it inflated. It became really foamy, which made the bubble pops kind of like tiny, but there were a lot of them, and it just sounds foamy. The description says the slime is scented like fruity pebbles. To me, it smells a lot more like Fruit Loops, just like a tiny minute detail that I wanted to add, but you know, I really don't care, and I love this slime, so it gets 5 out of 5 pajamas. Next up is Tutti Frutti. This is a DIY Snow Fizz slime. The base is scented lemon cake. Then it comes with a 1/2 ounce of pink clear slime scented strawberry and a 1/2 ounce of blue clear slime that is scented blueberry cheesecake. And if that wasn't enough, it also comes with a clay waffle piece and fruit sprinkles. Can I just say how much I love all the effort that was put into the slime? There are so many components to this one, and it truly feels like a DIY slime. Usually with DIYs, which I have no problem with, it's like just like a clay piece and, you know, some Fimos sometimes. But this one actually has 4 different other things you get to add to the base slime, so 5 things in total. That is so cool, and it just makes the slime look so good. Like, you guys are gonna see it, it looks so pretty, and I love it. And as an added bonus, the clay was sent in an extra container, which is one of my favorite things when slimes that are obviously not gonna fit in its original container have an extra container with it. That is just so satisfying. I also love the Snow Fizz base. It was super soft and airy, so I knew it was going to mix with the other slimes really well. I mixed the two clear slimes a little too much together to try and create like a tie-dye swirl look, and it kind of failed because the blue took over, but we're going to pretend that didn't happen. And the slime just looks super colorful. And I was correct because of the base and the fact that the clay was properly stored. It was super soft and everything. It mixed so well, and the end color is incredible. On the screen it looks more blue. In real life it's more like a turquoise slash seafoam green. It's kind of just in the middle of the two, so yeah, and it looks really, really good. The texture, once combined, turns into a clay fizz that's really soft and sizzly. Basically one of those slimes that just takes the soft from the clay and the sizzles from the snow fizz and mixes them together and creates a really wonderful slime to play with. I love the sizzles and cracks, but you still get that softness when it inflates. Each component of this slime was scented something different, so I'm sure you guys are curious of what this smells like when it's mixed together, and let me tell you, it smells heavenly. Oh my goodness. Like, since the base was scented like cake and then the other two pieces were scented like different types of fruit and dessert and stuff, it smells like a really sweet and fruity dessert. Obviously, I can't really pinpoint it because it just smells like a multitude of different fruits mixed with cake. So yeah, I also don't know what fruitcake actually smells like. I know I mentioned it before. I never tried fruitcake, so I'm kind of lost on that one, but it smells like what I think fruitcake might smell like if it was good smelling, something like that. Anyways, this slime also gets 5 out of 5 pajamas. The third slime in this review is Lisa Frank Ice Cream, which is obviously inspired by the Lisa Frank. Did they only do stickers? Is it just stickers or something? I don't remember. I've got an old brain. But this is obviously inspired by the Lisa Frank stuff. It is a cloud cream that's scented lightly like Skittles and Jolly Ranchers, and it comes in a rainbow tie-dye swirl that turns green obviously in the end, and it comes with a Lisa Frank charm and sprinkles on top. So obviously I just mentioned once the colors mix it turns into a green. That is in the slime's description, so it's not like a big reveal at the end or anything, but I'm not a super big fan of this green, and I'm really sorry, but it does kind of look like puke. It doesn't look that bad, and not like super bad puke or anything. It kind of looks a lot prettier on camera. In real life it's closer to the brown color, so a brownish green and not like a greenish brown. I don't know, but it looks okay and it's fine. It just really reminds me of vomit. Besides that, the slime was really fun to play with. It feels like a cloud cream that doesn't have any clay in it. I feel like it's a Mandela effect for me, if you guys know what that is. If you don't, I would definitely recommend looking it up. I swear, like on my life, that cloud creams used to not be made with clay, and now every time I look at like a tutorial or someone else's cloud cream or whatever, it's got clay in it, and I just don't get it. My cloud creams don't have clay in them. I don't know where that came from. Like, I feel like I'm going nuts, but this one feels like just like a cloud cream that I remember. It inflates really easily and a decent amount of inflation. It doesn't really get super tacky, which is incredible. It does leave a little more residue than I'm personally fine with. It leaves a pretty big amount underneath my nails and some on my hands, also some on my table, but it does happen, just more than I prefer. The bubble pops are also really fun to do. You can hear them when I poke the slime, stretch the slime, actually try to get bubble pops out of the slime. So that's really fun. And I just love how smooth and sizzly this slime is. It's so much fun. As mentioned, it's only lightly scented like Skittles and Jolly Ranchers, but I think it's enough. It's still a light scent, so if you're not into like the really strong scents, I would definitely recommend this one because you kind of have to get a little closer to it to smell it, but it smells super sweet and sour, just like candy. Because of the residue, I'm going to give this slime a 4.8 out of 5 pajamas, but I'm being super specific on this one. I liked every single slime, spoiler alert, so I kind of want to differentiate between them a little bit. So that's why that one gets the score, but I promise the residue isn't really super bad. Lastly, this is Secret Garden DIY. Obviously, it is a DIY clay slime. The base is a glossy slime scented like Rose Garden. It also comes with a 2-ounce Bingsu slime scented orange, 3 clay flowers, sprinkles, and flower and key charms. Just like the Tutti Frutti slime, I feel like they put so much effort into their DIY clay slimes or just DIY slimes in general. So if you happen to buy from the shop, I would definitely recommend one of their DIYs. There's just so many components to it and it's so thought out, and I love them because there's just so much to do, and like the DIY aspect takes a lot longer than most DIY slimes that I've done before, which is really fun because, you know, part of the slime experience is getting to build the slime yourself if that's part of what they intended. So it's really fun to do. The base is really fun to poke and squish. It's definitely a glossy slime, not like a thick and glossy, more like just like a regular base, so not really thin, but just like a school glue base, but it's really glossy and super fun to poke. I didn't play with the Bingsu slime too long just so that I could get this assembled before it got like really inflated and stuff, but from what I got to feel, it was a non-tacky, super light and crispy Bingsu. Again, I really enjoyed putting this slime together. It's definitely an intricate DIY with multiple parts to it. So once you get to mix it, you get to feel like all the components mixing together, the Bingsu, the glossy, and the clay pieces, and it just feels really incredible. There wasn't a ton of Bingsu beads to add to this, so once the texture mixes together, it becomes like a clay slime with added texture from the Bingsu beads. I've mentioned that before. You don't add too much to like the crunchy part of like a DIY clay slime or whatever, whether it's snow fizz, Bingsu beads, whatever you want to call them, whatever you add. If you don't add too many, it just kind of creates like an extra texture on the side, which I actually prefer a lot more because it gives the slime character while still keeping the original like clay or thick base or whatever you have. I really enjoyed playing with this slime. It feels super bouncy and chubby, so it's fun to kind of like fold and inflate and things like that. And when you get to inflate it and hear the bubble pops, they sound like watery, so they sound kind of like juicy and thin, kind of like water. So yeah, I don't know why I called water juicy, but they sound watery. This was another one where I wasn't a fan of the color. Like, the color mixed with the scent just really reminds me of my mom's makeup. Let me elaborate. So the color kind of looks like lipstick, and I know I did this as a kid. I don't know if it was universal, but I used to play with my mom's makeup and it all smelled the same. I guess kind of like old makeup. So that's what it smells like and that's what it looks like, and I just could not stop thinking about it. That is my opinion though, and not like a fact, so I'm not gonna take off for that. The only thing that I would mention, I don't know if you guys noticed, but there were some iridescent butterflies that came with this as well. I would definitely recommend, as pretty as they are, not adding it to this. I stabbed myself so many times. It did not feel good. Those things were sharp. So this slime is also getting 4.8 out of 5 pajamas. With that, that is the end of this review, and I really hope you guys enjoyed. If you want to check out this slime shop for yourself, the link will be in the description of this video, and I highly recommend checking them out. I loved these slimes, and their textures were super unique. If you made it this far, comment down below anything you'd like to say in the comments. What you're doing this weekend, what you did this past week, how you're feeling, how the weather is, some random fact. Just comment whatever you feel like. As for me, I'm currently trying different methods to keep my anxiety from flaring like it does 90% of the time, so that's fun. But anyways, I am signing off, and I'll see you guys in the next one.